The hunger is a hollow stone in the belly of the Sky-Edge clan. It is the first thing they feel upon waking in their shallow caves carved from the cliff face, and the last thing they know before sleep takes them. The scrubland that clings to their side of the great rift is picked clean. A skeleton of desiccated thorn bush and cracked earth. The herds of small herbivores they once hunted are long gone, either taken by the clan or chased away by the greater predators that now prowl the emptied territory. All that remains is the wind. It is a constant presence, a ceaseless river of air that pours over the canyon's edge, whispering of a world beyond their reach. Tail, the clan's oldest hunter, watches the dust devils dance across the barren flats. His knuckles are white where he grips his spear, its obsidian tip chipped from 100 fruitless strikes against hard rock. He sees the godness in his people, the listlessness in the children. This is the slow death, the quiet fading of a people who have run out of land. This is the brutal reality of their prehistoric life. Desperation forces a new strategy. Delara, young and light of foot, is sent not to hunt, but to explore. She is tasked with scaling the high, windswept plateaus that flank their camp, places the elders have always forbidden. They are known as the Sky-Titan roosts, domains of the true masters of this abyss, the great Quetzalcoatlus. For 3 days, she climbs, the wind threatening to peel her from the rock. On the third, she crests the final legend, enters a place of silent, armed, profound death. Before her lies a bone miner's field. Dozens of colossal skeletons, stark white against the red stone, lie interlocked where they fell from the sky over countless generations. Skulls the size of a grown man, with beaks like sharpened lances, rest beside wing miners spars longer than any tree in their territory. It is a graveyard of gods, a testament to the power of the dinosaurs that rule their world. Fear urges her to flee, but a deeper instinct, the gnawing hunger of her clan, holds her fast. She approaches a fractured wing bone, a hollowed above fossilized calcium as thick as her waist and twice her height. She runs a hand over its smooth, impossibly light surface. When she knocks on it, the sound is a low, resonant hum, like a ghostly drum. The wind gusts, and a smaller, shattered piece of the bone skitters across the ground. Lifting for a moment as if it remembers flight, she picks it up. It is a miracle of structure, a network of internal struts and hollows that grant immense strength with almost no weight. She holds it aloft, and the wind pulls at it, a living force trying to snatch it from her grip. In that instant, an impossible thought sparks in her mind, a terrifying, audacious sleep of human imagination. These are not just the remains of a predator. They are a gift from the sky, the secret to their structure, their pneumatic bones. As a key, feel the wind on your own skin, and ask yourself, when the earth offers no path forward, do you have the courage to listen to the whispers carried on the air? She knows, with a certainty that chills her to her very core, what she must bring back to her people, not meat, but a new and deadly hope, born from the bones of the Sky-Titans themselves. Elara returns not with the carcass of a beast, but with the limb of a god. The clan gathers, touching the enormous, hollow bone with a mixture of terror and reverence. They feel its impossible likeness. They see how it catches the wind. Hope, a dangerous and unfamiliar feeling, begins to uncoil in the pit of their stomachs. Kill, the old hunter, remains unconvinced. He sees the shadow of the predator in the bone's architecture. A warning from the natural world they are not meant to heed. But the hunger of the clan is a stronger voice than his caution. The work begins. This is osteodontocratic technology in its most audacious form. They lash the great wing bones together with sinew, stretching the cured hides of their lost kills between the spars. They build what their eyes tell them is a wing, a direct, crude imitation of the skeletons from the plateau. Their creation is monstrous and fragile, a testament to pure desperation. They understand its shape, but not its soul. They cannot see the subtle, crucial code, the secret of the aerofoil that turns a fall into a flight. The day of the first trial arrives with a wind that bites and claws at the cliff edge. A young man named Buell. His body lean from the long hunger, but his eyes bright with the fever of possibility. Volunteers. He stands up the precipice. The crude glider strapped to his back and gripped in his hands. It is a grotesque parody of a Quetzalcoatlus wing, threatened lifeless. Below him, the canyon floor is a hazy dream of shadow and rock. For a moment, the entire clan holds its breath. A collective pause in the story of human evolution. The hour takes a running leap, launching himself into the void. There is no soil. There is no glide. The wind catches the flat surface of the hide and flips him instantly. Like a dry leaf in a storm, he does not fly. He plummets. The fall is terrifyingly quick. A silent, tumbling punctuation mark to their arrogance. The sound of his impact, when it finally echoes up the canyon walls, is small and sickeningly final. Hara gives way to grim resolve. They believe the failure was in the size, not the design. They build a second glider, smaller, reinforced. Another hunter, rounder. Her face a mask of determination, takes Boar's place. Her leap is just as brave. Her fall is just as fatal. The Red Leap. They recall this day. The day the sky demanded its sacrifice and the clan paid in the blood of its own. That night, a terrible schism splits the survivors. Kayle's voice is low and sharp with grief. The sky is not our hunting ground. He rasps, his gaze fixed on the two empty sleeping furs by the fire. It is a god, and we have angered it. We trade a slow death for a quick one. Hilara, her face streaked with dust and tears, counters him, her voice trembling but unbroken. The slow death is certain. It is in the faces of our children. The sky is a chance. Bio Androna did not die for nothing. They died to teach us. This is the hard choice, the pivot upon which their future turns. To abandon this terrifying ambition means returning to the certainty of starvation. To continue means accepting that the price of knowledge is paid in lives, that the path to mastering this prehistoric world is paved with the bones of their bravest. The deaths of Bio are Androna hang like a shroud over the camp. For weeks, no one dares look at the half-minus finished gliders, the skeletal monuments to their failed ambition. The clan's gaze returns to the earth, to the barren soil that offers them nothing. But Nal's gaze is different. She is Kayla's granddaughter, but she has Elora's fire. Every day, she lies on her stomach at the canyon's edge, a speck of life against the vast emptiness, and watches. She does not see gods in the sky. She sees hunters. She watches the living Quetzalcoatlus as they launch from the far cliffs. She sees that they do not simply leap. They wait for the sun to heat the canyon walls, for the invisible columns of rising air the demos to form. They ride these columns, spiraling upward with barely a flap of their immense wings, and she sees the curve, a subtle, powerful arch in the wings' leading edge that cuts the air, creating lift. Their failures were not a matter of courage, but of geometry. This is the difference between early humans and the beasts, the ability to observe, learn, and adapt. She brings her knowledge to Ilara. Together, with a small group of believers, they begin anew. They dismantle the old gliders, salvaging the precious bone and hide. This time, they do not build flatly. They use steam from boiling water and immense pressure from levers to gently, painstakingly bend the long rib bones into a shallow, graceful curve. They anchor the shape with a latticework of sinew, creating a wing that is not just a surface, but a sculpture designed to command the wind. Kale watches the process, his face etched with a deep, sorrowful disapproval. To him, this is not ingenuity. It is the height of folly, a final insult to the spirits of the dead. He sees only a third, smaller grave being dug at the foot of the cliff. The new glider is lighter, more elegant. It looks alive, even at rest. When it is finished, there is no debate about who will fly it. Nala claims the right. It is her vision. It will be her triumph, or her eulogy. She stands at the Red Leap. The morning sun warms the stone behind her. She can feel the updraft on her face, a steady, invisible pressure. She straps the glider to her back, her hands finding the familiar grip. Below, the clan watches, a silent congregation of hope and fear. Kale looks away. Nola does not run. She waits, her body taut, her senses attuned to the rhythm of the air. She feels the shift, the surge of a powerful thermal rising from the canyon's depths. No, she pushes off. A clean, powerful leap into the abyss. For one heart-minus stopping second, she drops. A collective gasp rises from the cliff edge. But then the air catches the curved wing. It bites. It holds. And it lifts. She is not falling. She is flying. The glider shudders, a living thing in her hands, and then stabilizes, catching the updraft. She is rising, spiraling higher than the cliff from which she jumped, a creature of bone and sinew and audacious human will. A new entity in this prehistoric planet. From above, the world transforms. She sees the other side of the canyon, not as a distant dream, but as a real and attainable playland of green, teeming with herds of grazing animals. Her successful flight is more than a display of survival skills. It is a fundamental shift in the narrative of hominid history. She lands, stumbling but safe, on the far side, and her cry of triumph echoes back across the abyss, the sound of a caged or breaking open. The flight of Nola was not the end of a story, but the violent, beautiful birth of a new kind of human. They became the Sky-Edge clan in truth, not just in name. They crossed the canyon, and for generations, the Red Leap became their most sacred rite of passage, a fearsome crucible that forged their young into a new breed of Homo sapiens hunters who saw the world from the perspective of a god. Their osteodontocratic technology evolved, their gliders becoming more refined, their understanding of the wind and sky so profound it became a second soul. In the grand, sprawling narrative of anthropology, they are a footnote that should not exist, a branch of human ancestors who refused to be bound by the horizontal world. They mastered the Z-axis, claiming the air as their own millennia before their descendants would ever dream of it. Their struggle poses a question that echoes down through the ages, etched into the very core of our DNA. When faced with the absolute certainty of extinction, what is the proper response? Is it to accept fate with dignity, or is it to spit in the eye of oblivion and leap, with nothing but bones and face, into the endless, empty sky? The chronicles of this earth are written in tooth and stone. Listen closely, and you may yet hear their echo in your own blood. But the sky was not the only frontier, for in the deep jungles, the very trees were beginning to think.